welcome to the channel. I'm so glad you found me. My name is Andrea, and today we are going to talk about text-to-self connections. Now, if you have any thoughts or new ideas, drop them in the comments below, and if you feel moved to do so, smash that like button and subscribe to my channel. I want to pause and recognize and celebrate a big victory for our readers. After going through our decoding strategy series, our readers are using one or more reading strategy to decode unknown words. So, yay! Good job, readers! That means we are reading. Yes! So now we want to open the curiosity door. We want to help our readers connect to the books they are now reading. This is called making connections, and there are 4 types of connections. There are text to self, text to text, text to world, and text to media connections. We teach connections so that students can make sense of what they're reading. They can be entertained, and they can remember, retain, and recall information. Sometimes finding connections might be a little challenging. So educators rely on schema to help our students with this. And let me tell you a secret. Students already do this. This is great. So what's schema? Schema is using prior knowledge to help you with what you are doing. Everyone has experiences, emotions, feelings, opinions on things that they have gone through in their lives. And as educators, we want to tap into that to help them find connections with the books that they read. To help them do that, we want to use key phrases like, I feel, or I remember, or I can relate to. This reminds me of, oh, I remember that time. These experiences can happen to the reader or a family member or friend or classmate, just as long as they are left with a really great impression that they can talk about. You can find these connections with the entire book with a picture or illustration, just a line or a chapter or a sentence. The possibilities are endless. And the goal of all of these experiences are to help our readers be entertained, make sense of what they're reading, to remember, retain, recall information for later on. What has worked for me in the past, especially when I'm introducing this skill, is to do it over a couple of days. So the first day, I don't even pick up a book. I really want to make sure that they can understand and tap into their schema. So here's what I do. As an educator, I like, when possible, to pull in other subject areas. And today I want to pull in some science. Specifically, I want to use the senses. Beforehand, I want to look around my room and pull together objects that deal with sight, sound, smell, touch, and taste, if possible. So for instance, I might bring some sand, grass, dirt, slime. I might bring apples or bananas, maybe pears. I might have a vanilla bottle they can smell, or sunblock. So when I get all my stuff together, I will gather my students around and we will one by one pick up the object and either smell it or touch it or taste it or feel it or do a combination of them and see if it invokes a memory. For instance, when, as we are feeling the sand and looking at the sand, one memory that I have is being at the beach. I lived by the beach for a good number of years, so we were there often. And even just talking about it, my memory, my schema, is thinking about the smell of sunblock, the way the sand feels on your toes and how it burns on a hot summer day. I can remember the feel of the seashells or the taste of the salty water when you accidentally take a hit. So we want to go around the room and train our kids to tap into their schema by using key phrases like, I remember, or I feel, or this reminds me of, I can relate to this. Day 2 can be modified to the ages and stages of your readers. You can have books already there or give them a couple minutes to go around and grab a bunch of books and bring it back to their spot. You are basically going to do the same thing you did day 1, but instead of food and objects, you are going to look at each book on the covers, back and front covers. You are going to look at the pictures. You can, especially with the older kids, have them read a line, but I really want to tap into their visual cues today. You want a great variety or collection of books so we can set our readers up for success. For instance, this book made me think about the beach. This one maybe I can think of a time I went on a vacation trip or dressing up for Halloween. Maybe I like the moon here. This one, I read the word the new guy, so it reminds me of being maybe new to a school or new to a class, starting a new school year. This one can be about my pet, dressing up again for Halloween or a birthday party. Maybe I know someone who has been to the farm. My first sleepover or going to the dentist. Dun, dun, dun. Getting into a fight with a brother or sister. Feeling a particular way. And this book, maybe I'm not reading the title Brave Bear. Maybe I picked this book because I have a bear at home just like this one. And it made me think about it. So the possibilities are endless. You want to make sure that your student is sharing and or writing their memories. And this is Schema. Day 3 and beyond, we are now going to bring in the reading aspect of text to self. We want to, especially with our older kids, have them to start reading chapters or the whole book and seeing if they can do the exact same thing. Will the words that they read make them think of a memory? I like making sure I have picture books because I still want to use the visual clues to help me think about things. So if I'm not really sure, if I'm struggling finding a connection with words, I can look at a picture. This helps me to remember. I feel when I see this, or I can relate to this picture because. For our younger and mid-range readers, we want to make sure that because this is a newer skill, we want to model, model, model. I make it a point as I read our story to pick certain points in the book to stop and then say out loud what I am thinking using our keywords. So in this book, Pete the Cat and the New Guy, as I am reading, I'm going to stop and I'm going to say what I'm thinking out loud. Pete the Cat said, "I've never met anyone quite like you. You seem like a duck and like a beaver too." The New Guy said to Pete, "Hi, my name is Gus. Glad to meet you. I'm a platypus." This is a great point to stop and think out loud using those keywords we just talked about. This reminds me of a time I began a new year at school and I did not know everyone, but they came to me and made me feel welcome. And my last example, Berenstain Bears visit the dentist. So here you have a picture of Sister in the dentist chair looking a little nervous, which I'm sure many kids can say, that's the feeling I feel too. And then I'll read, said the dentist, looking at the tooth. "Yope," said Sister, waiting for him to reach those big yankers. But while she waited, Dr. Bearson gripped the tooth with a piece of gauze, gave a tug, and out it came. This reminds me of the time where I could not get rid of my loose tooth, and the dentist helped take it out. I was scared at first, but just like Sister Bear, it wasn't bad. So the point of this skill is to get our newly reading readers to find as many connections as they can with the books that they're reading. This gives them a bigger chance of success with understanding what they're reading, with being entertained, wanting them to read more, recalling facts when you start getting into reading comprehension and testing, and recalling what they know. So, drop in the comments below how your readers did today with other text-to-self connections. And next time we will talk about text-to-text connections. Until then, stay safe, stay positive, stay confident, and I will see you in the next one.